Alright, the first thrashing didn't teach me a lesson. I wanted a second shot at Ninjahunds Greenskins with Bretonnia, and I'm still infantry heavy, so we'll see whether or not that was a mistake in the end. Ninjahund has changed up his build a little bit here too. He's brought these 3 Goblin Wolf archers, or whatever you want to call them. One of them's the Mangy Marauders, and then he's got 3 rock lobbers back here too, so a lot of artillery. That's going to force me to charge up against him. I've got a bunch of spearmen at arms with triple gold chevrons in order to make them tank out longer. I've still got the Green Knight because I feel like he's always a good choice versus Bretonnia, and I've got 2 Grail Knights still. So let's see how this one. But this time I've got the requisite goon squad for Bretonnia. So I've got this time it's just a Lord though. It's not Lewin. So I've got a Lord and 2 Paladins. I didn't have quite enough money for Lewin, and my Paladins are actually able to catch these Mangy Marauders. I'm gonna bring them down. And then I'm going to go ahead and start moving my Grail Knights around this flank over here. Wanting to get some damage done. And then the Green Knight, I'm going to roll him right up the center because I want him to help tank against like the Giant and this like leader squad of Greenskins because he can take a lot of beating. So that's the idea. I got a couple of Peasant Mob to absorb the charge off of some of the Greenskin units, knowing that the big uns were going to give me a challenge. And then again, I'm just hoping that my Spearmen at Arms can hold long enough for me to get some Hammer and Anvil strikes. You can see he's going to chase me with the big uns, but I should be able to speed around his flanks. And then here comes the charges. He's going to go after the Green Knight. Yeah, I'm not real worried about what he can do to the Green Knight with these units. I do get caught a little bit by the big uns here, but I think I'm going to get past him. I'm going to try and smash through this Goblin and smash through this Goblin. And then my leaders are out chasing these Wolf Archers. I really should get them back a little bit sooner than I have. You see the Green Knight here in the center tanking the damage from all of the leader units from the Greenskins. And look at my infantry, just gets shredded. Even with all the triple chevrons, just falls apart almost instantly in the center. But it does a little better elsewhere. And my Grail Knights here get an epic rear charge into the back of all these Greenskin units. Should help me cause a lot of damage, especially with the Green Knight in here as well. You can see that one of the Goblin Big Bosses takes huge damage. Another Grail Knight's going to slam into the back of this unit, so we're getting some Hammer and Anvil action. I disrupted the Rock Lobbers, but I haven't entirely finished them yet. I need to finish off Skarsnik, and this Giant is also a big problem. So I'm going to hit the Giant, and my Grail Knights now, unfortunately, are kind of getting mobbed in, and then I've got a Men-at-Arms that needs to come back into combat, and here comes my Lord. Unfortunately, my infantry build still just completely falls apart to the Greenskins here, which is not a big surprise. So gold chevrons or not, it isn't going anywhere. And my Grail Knights got too bogged down here. I should have kept them mobile. Shouldn't have, like, the charge was fine, but then I should have just turned around and kept them moving, because you can use their cycle charges rather effectively, whereas here, where I let them get bogged down, they can be killed by the Greenskin units, whereas with repeated charges, the Grail Knights would have dominated. So definitely a mistake, and if we look up close into this fight, although we caused the Giant to rout, we took such a heavy cost in doing so. I got my Lord, the Green Knight, and I lost a Grail Knight mostly up in here as well. So it took a lot to not even really kill the Giant. He's used Itchy Nuisance on my my units here, so that's a great cast. So yeah, my Knights are back up and running. Both Grail Knights, though, they're pretty heavily damaged. So here we go. Gonna keep on charging. Keep on trying to win this one. Let's get in and check out the Green Knight up close. He's an epic character. My Lord's getting swamped, and he's gonna get pushed out of the fight. I think he's routing. Yeah, he's routing. So unfortunate for me. The Green Knight actually hasn't gotten any kills because he's been attacking the Greenskin heroes the whole time. And he's done some damage. He's definitely done some damage, but yeah, you can't rout the Green Knight either. My Paladins are starting to rout. I'm basically just running out of units. And see, if I would have kept my Grail Knights healthier and stayed away from this blob, it would have left more opportunity for stuff like this, where when the Greenskins get blobbed up, I can then start rear charging them to death with Grail Knights, and I would have been able to take out his Rock Lobbers. So it definitely would have been better for me to save these Grail Knights. They got a ton of kills, but it doesn't matter how many kills they got. It's not worth it if you lose the battle. I'm just saying, Grail Knights are capable of a ton of killing against the Greenskin. A lot of killing. I want to kind of see how Grail Guardians stack up, too. Be interesting to see. We'll have to test that at some point. The Grail Knights are going to go down about 170-ish kills, and the Green Knight's going to be the last man standing. The last kind of man standing, ethereal man standing. Look at the type of beating he can take before going down. Truly is impressive. Oh yeah, so GG to Ninjahund. Fun game. I enjoyed the games with them. Win, lose, or draw. It was fun. I enjoyed getting to play Bretonnia. And it's always fun to play against a talented player because you get to learn. And it also pushes you to try and do better. Let's take a look at the results screen. So in the end, I think I mentioned it in the other Greenskins video, it looks like that you're not going to want to do infantry type builds against the Greenskins. You're just feeding them kills, basically. So even with the chevrons, I mean, my line wasn't able to hold. Maybe like a polearm or something could hold out a little longer with the triple chevrons. But let's just go do a couple of quick tests of a few things against the Greenskins. One of the ones that I'd like to do is this men-at-arms with polearms. Let's that's a pretty absurd cost at 862. Why does it show me losing when there's not a single unit over here for the Greenskins? That's kind of odd. Let's get a biggin, which the biggin, my polearm now costs more than the biggin, but I'm just kind of curious, like, how does this fight balance out? Gosh darn it, I keep bumping into the microphone because it's somewhat close to my keyboard. And now they have a charge defense against large. Wow, it was changed. It used to be charge defense against all. That's kind of unfortunate that they removed that. But I guess they removed it because Bretonnia has more units now. But it's a charge defense against large. So we don't want to just sit back and take the charge from these biggins. I wouldn't think. I don't know. I'll still just take the charge because we'll just assume these guys are going to be an anvil, right? Let's see how well, with all the upgrades, these guys can hold out. I mean, they have 52 melee defense. They do decent armor-piercing damage. Okay, here comes the charging Greenskins. I think it'd be cool if at least the polearm kept the charge defense against all. Maybe not every Bretonnian unit. But I don't know, maybe it makes them too cost-effective. We'll see. Alright, we put a lot of chevronage on them. Let's see what happens. I think the biggins still take this one home, but let's see how long they can last. It's an expensive unit, though, to try and just get lasting. But let's see what happens. They are holding for an extended period of time here. Their defense is pretty absurd. But I don't know, that's a lot of money to pay for what's almost certain to be a loss anyway. I think against an armored unit, this might pay off, but the biggins are not a heavily armored unit, and they're a heavy damage dealer as it is. Now, against a great weapon unit, that might be an effective trade. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be an effective trade here. But look how long they hold out. It's a pretty good long time. So in that battle, there was something else I wanted to try. We tried the questing knights against the orc biggins. And I'd like to try some of these Grail Guardians. Now, these guys are stupid expensive. Stupid expensive. 1,600 is what they're going to roll in at. Let's try a Grail Guardian versus the biggins. And the Grail Guardians still cost more than both the biggins. Keep that in mind. I don't think this is going to really be the intended use of a Grail Guardian. I'm just kind of curious, like, are they tankier than the questing knights, or are the questing knights still better at what they do? So at 120 armor, they do magical damage, only 33 weapon strength. Charge bonus is 34. That seems a little bit lower than some of the others. They do have the Lady's Blessing, though, which gives them 20% physical resistance. It's a constant ward save, and they're immune to psychology, and they're also immune to vigor. So they will never get tired. First, let's see what happens if we just charge them straight into combat, and I might try another test where we cycle charge them some. Alright, so charging straight into combat, Grail Guardians versus Orc Biggins. Just see what happens, just straight up grind out fight. 20% physical resistance is a pretty good chunk. And it's definitely going to slow down how quickly the biggins are capable of killing the Grail Guardians. And you can see these guys are tanking it out for far longer than the questing knights would have. Wow. Look at that. They've chewed through a whole unit of big uns just head on. And they're starting to hit the second unit. Now, see, they don't get tired. Let's watch this. You can see here, very tired, and these guys are fresh. And you get significant combat penalties when you're tired. The Grail Guardians may win this. That 20% physical resistance and never getting tired may make the difference here. Now remember, these are anti-large units. So in campaign, I think these Grail Guardians eventually, if you get the money because of an absurd economy, you could just use the Grail Guardians to replace your infantry. And it looks like they would be pretty effective at it. Look at that. Just plowing through 2 units of Orc Biguns. And still plenty of room to spare. 111 kills against anti-large units. And pretty potent anti-large units, to be honest. That was impressive. What do y'all think of those Grail Guardians? Gonna be interesting to see more of those guys, and I know I sure can't wait to get to them in campaign. The Fey Enchantress could certainly use their help. Hope y'all enjoyed the battle. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I will see you all soon.